What if I told you that right now, sitting quietly in your kitchen or fridge, there's a fruit you've been told is healthy, but for a man over 60, it might be slowly stealing your strength, not just making you a little sluggish. I'm talking about draining your testosterone, clogging your blood vessels, and silently robbing you of the erections that used to come naturally. It doesn't look dangerous. In fact, it's often praised as a heart-healthy snack. But in my clinic, I've seen men's lives change dramatically when they remove this one healthy fruit from their daily routine. I'm Dr. Maya Kapoor, and for over 3 decades, I've worked with men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, men who want to stay strong, confident, and connected to the intimate part of their lives without pills or risky procedures. And after years of observation, I can tell you something that most doctors won't say out loud. When you stop guessing and start eating with a purpose, your body responds faster than you think. But here's the truth that often surprises people. Not all fruits are good for aging men. Some, despite their reputation, gradually shift the balance in the wrong direction. They can raise estrogen, spike insulin, and lower nitric oxide, the molecule your body depends on for strong, lasting erections. The first culprit? Grapes. Small, sweet, and bursting with juice, they've been a symbol of good health for centuries. But there's a catch. Unless they're certified organic, grapes are among the most heavily sprayed fruits in agriculture. Those pesticides often contain compounds called xenoestrogens, synthetic chemicals that behave like estrogen in your body. When estrogen levels climb, testosterone falls. And that imbalance over time can mean a softer libido, more belly fat, swelling in the prostate, and yes, weaker, less reliable erections. I remember a patient named Alan, 67 years old, who came to me confused. He thought grapes were helping him manage his blood pressure. In reality, he was eating 2 handfuls of non-organic grapes every day, and without realizing it, he was feeding his body a steady stream of estrogen-mimicking chemicals. When we swapped those grapes for low estrogen fruits and cleaned up the rest of his diet, he noticed something unexpected: firmer mornings, better sleep, and a lift in confidence he hadn't felt in years. It didn't take months. It started within 3 weeks. Grapes aren't evil, but if your testosterone is already declining with age, even a small hormonal nudge in the wrong direction can have an outsized effect. If you do eat grapes, make them organic and keep them occasional. And as for grape juice, avoid it completely. It's a sugar and pesticide bomb that can sabotage your hormones and your circulation in one glass. If grapes are the hidden hormone hazard, the next fruit is what I call the senior sweet trap. You've probably seen them, neat little cups of canned fruit cocktail, colorful and soft, easy to chew, and often eaten alongside morning medications. They look harmless, but here's the truth. Those cups are a carefully disguised sugar trap. Most are soaked in high fructose corn syrup or concentrated fruit juice, both of which flood your bloodstream with simple sugars the moment you eat them, especially if your stomach is empty. That sugar spike sends your insulin soaring, inflames your arteries, and knocks down your nitric oxide, the very compound your body needs to open blood vessels and maintain an erection. One of my patients, Raymond, 72, had been eating canned fruit cocktail every morning for more than a decade. He struggled with constant fatigue and brain fog. His sexual desire was gone. When we replaced those syrupy cups with fresh, low-sugar fruit, his energy began to return. Over time, his intimate life followed. Even the so-called light syrup or no-sugar added versions are misleading. The fruit has been sitting in a can for months, bleached, stripped of fiber, and preserved with chemicals. Bananas, soft, convenient, and praised for potassium, can still work against you after 60, especially if you struggle with energy, weight, or intimacy. The sweet, overripe ones most people prefer are packed with quick sugars that spike insulin and drop testosterone. Over time, that pattern fuels insulin resistance, weight gain, and weaker erections. They can also raise serotonin at the wrong time, leaving you flat in mood and response, and that shows up in the bedroom. Dried fruits, especially raisins and dates, may seem harmless, but they're sugar bombs in disguise. Without water, their sugars become highly concentrated and stripped of fiber. That combination spikes blood sugar fast and drops testosterone. Many are also coated in oils and preserved with sulfites, which can block zinc absorption, a mineral essential for testosterone and erectile health. Grapes, canned fruit, bananas, dried fruit, they don't sound dangerous. And for a younger man with a robust hormonal system, they might not cause obvious problems. But after 60, when your testosterone is already under pressure, your circulation is more vulnerable, and your insulin sensitivity is lower, these harmless fruits can tip the scales. They don't just fail to help, they actively work against the very systems you need to keep strong. And that's why the first step to reclaiming your vitality isn't just about adding the right foods, it's about clearing out the hidden saboteurs first. Once you know what's been silently working against you, you're ready to meet the allies that can fight for you, the fruits that can wake up your energy, rebuild your confidence, and bring vitality back into your life faster than you might believe. In the next part, I'll show you exactly which 4 fruits to bring into your life, fruits that have helped my patients revive their energy, their confidence, and yes, their bedroom performance naturally. If avoiding certain fruits helps stop the damage, adding the right ones can actively turn things around. I've seen it happen in real men, in real time, and it's one of the most satisfying parts of my work. The first fruit I recommend almost universally for men over 60 is the pomegranate. This ruby red powerhouse has been treasured for centuries, but science now explains why. It's rich in punicalagins, potent plant antioxidants that reduce oxidative stress and improve blood vessel health. Erections depend entirely on healthy circulation, and pomegranate helps by increasing nitric oxide production, relaxing blood vessels, and allowing blood to flow freely when you need it most. One study found that men who drank pomegranate juice daily improved erectile function and testosterone levels within weeks. I've had patients who came in exhausted, convinced their best years were over, and after 30 days of eating fresh pomegranate seeds or drinking pure juice, they reported firmer mornings, more energy, and a restored sense of confidence. I always tell them, skip the sugar-loaded blends, choose 100% pure juice, or better yet, the fresh seeds. Sprinkle them on yogurt, add them to smoothies, or just eat them as they are. While pomegranate opens the blood vessels, kiwi protects them and shields your testosterone from silent damage. This fuzzy green citrus might not be flashy, but it's loaded with vitamin C, often more than an orange, which defends the Leydig cells in your testes from oxidative stress. Those cells are your testosterone factories. Keep them healthy, and your hormone levels stay steadier. Kiwi also contains actinidin, an enzyme that helps digestion and nutrient absorption, so you actually get more benefit from the zinc and magnesium in your diet, both essential for sexual performance. There's another layer. Kiwi has been shown to lower cortisol, the stress hormone that directly competes with testosterone. In one Japanese study, men who ate 2 kiwis a day had better sleep, lower blood pressure, and improved emotional well-being. I tell my patients, eat the skin if you can. It's edible, full of fiber, and adds extra nutrients. If that's too much, the inside alone still delivers the benefits. If kiwi calms and protects, watermelon wakes and excites. Think of it as nature's gentle Viagra. The secret is L-citrulline, an amino acid that your body converts into L-arginine, which then boosts nitric oxide production. Unlike synthetic pills that force your vessels open, watermelon works with your system, relaxing blood vessels naturally. Many of my patients, men in their late 60s and 70s, have noticed better morning erections and more stamina after adding fresh watermelon to their breakfast. The trick? Eat it fresh and on an empty stomach for maximum absorption. And don't throw away the white rind. That's where the highest concentration of L-citrulline lives. Blend it into a smoothie, maybe with a squeeze of lemon and a bit of ginger for an extra kick. Finally, blueberries, small but mighty. These deep blueberries are loaded with anthocyanins, compounds that protect blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and guard testosterone-producing cells from damage. They also help with insulin sensitivity, which means more stable blood sugar and fewer hormonal crashes. Low in sugar and high in fiber, blueberries are a perfect daily fruit for hormonal stability. I've seen older men start their mornings with half a cup of blueberries, in yogurt, in smoothies, or just plain, and within weeks, they report sharper focus, better mood, and even warmer hands and feet, signs of improved circulation. Over time, that steady blood flow and hormonal stability protect not just your erections, but your energy, mental clarity, and confidence. So, we've got our 4 heroes: pomegranate for circulation, kiwi for testosterone protection, watermelon for nitric oxide, and blueberries for all-around hormonal stability and vascular health. But here's the thing, knowing which fruits to eat and which to avoid is only half the battle. The real transformation happens when you put it all into daily practice, consistently, in a way that fits your life. I always tell my patients, don't try to overhaul everything at once. Start by removing one harmful fruit from your routine and replacing it with one of the good ones. Swap out your morning banana for a handful of blueberries. Trade canned fruit cocktail for fresh pomegranate seeds. Instead of a sugary dried fruit snack at night, have a few slices of watermelon earlier in the day. Your body responds quickly when you stop feeding it the things that disrupt hormones and circulation and start giving it the foods that repair and restore. At first, the changes might feel small. Maybe you sleep a little better. Maybe your hands and feet feel warmer. Then one morning, you wake up with more energy, a clearer head, and a quiet confidence that you haven't felt in years. These aren't miracles, they're biology. Blood vessels relax, inflammation drops, hormones rebalance, and suddenly, your body remembers how to work for you instead of against you. And the best part? You can make these changes without pills, without side effects, and without turning your life upside down. But there's another reason this approach works so well. It's not just about the physical changes, it's about the emotional ripple effect. When you feel stronger in your body, you carry yourself differently. You engage more. You stop avoiding intimacy out of fear or frustration. Your partner notices. Your mood shifts. You start to expect more from your life again, instead of slowly accepting less from life year after year. That's the part I love most, watching men go from resigned to re-energized, from thinking it's just age to realizing they still have so much more in the tank. And it all starts with choices so simple they almost seem too small to matter, but they do. Now, let's bring everything together so you know exactly how to apply this starting tomorrow morning. Let's tie all of this together. Because knowing what to eat and what to avoid is only powerful if you turn it into a rhythm your body can rely on. And at this stage of life, rhythm is everything. Your body thrives on consistency. It likes to know what's coming, to prepare for it, and to respond in kind. If you're a man over 60, here's the simplest way to begin tomorrow morning. First, look at the fruits you've been eating regularly. Are grapes, canned fruit cocktails, bananas, or dried fruits part of your daily or weekly routine? If yes, choose one to cut first. You don't need to go cold turkey on all four at once. That's where most men trip up, because they try to change everything overnight and then get overwhelmed. Replace that one fruit with one of the heroes we've talked about. If you normally start the day with a banana, try blueberries instead. If you've been snacking on raisins, swap in a handful of pomegranate seeds or fresh watermelon slices. This one-for-one replacement keeps things simple and makes it easier for your body to notice the difference without feeling like you've taken something away. Next, make timing work for you. The first hour after you wake up is what I call your golden window. Your blood vessels are more open, your digestive system is ready to absorb nutrients, and your hormonal signals are just beginning to rise for the day. Whatever you feed your body in that hour sets the tone for the rest of your day, circulation, energy, and even mood. If you can, get your fruit in during this window. A small bowl of pomegranate seeds alongside breakfast, a kiwi eaten whole, skin and all if you're up for it, or fresh watermelon on an empty stomach are all excellent ways to start. If blueberries are your choice, toss them into plain Greek yogurt with a few crushed walnuts for healthy fats and extra support for your testosterone. One thing I remind my patients about fruit: more is not always better. Even the healthiest fruits contain natural sugars, and too much can nudge your blood sugar higher than we want, especially if you have insulin resistance. Aim for about 2 servings a day, one in the morning, one later in the afternoon if you want a second boost. This keeps your energy steady without the crashes that can sabotage your hormones. Now, let's talk about sourcing. For the beneficial fruits to do their best work, quality matters. Choose organic when possible, especially for pomegranate, kiwi, and blueberries, to minimize pesticide load that can mimic estrogen and interfere with testosterone. For watermelon, freshness is key. The longer it sits sliced in the fridge, the more nutrients it loses. There's also an art to combining these fruits with the rest of your diet. Think of them as the spark plugs for your hormonal and circulatory engines. They work best alongside steady, balanced fuel, lean proteins, healthy fats, and vegetables rich in minerals. For example, pairing pomegranate seeds with a spinach salad and olive oil dressing not only delivers antioxidants, but also supports absorption of fat-soluble nutrients. And while we're building this foundation, don't underestimate hydration. Water is the carrier that moves all these nutrients through your bloodstream to the tissues that need them most. Aim for steady sipping throughout the day, not chugging large amounts at once. Adding a slice of kiwi or a few blueberries to your water can give you a subtle infusion of flavor and antioxidants. Here's what I often see in my patients who follow this approach. Week 1 to 2, they start to notice better digestion, a bit more morning energy, and sometimes warmer hands and feet, a sign that circulation is improving. Sleep may begin to feel more restful. Week 3-4, morning erections return or become more reliable, and there's a noticeable lift in mood and motivation. Some men even find their stamina for walking, climbing stairs, or daily activities quietly increasing without extra effort. Week 5 and beyond, confidence grows, not just in the bedroom, but in everyday life. Energy stays steadier from morning to evening. Emotional connection with a partner often deepens simply because frustration and avoidance are replaced by possibility. What I love most is that this isn't about chasing youth or trying to turn back the clock. It's about giving your body the tools to work with the age you are now, to be the strongest, most vibrant version of yourself at 62, 68, or 75. Of course, there are pitfalls to watch out for. The first is the all or nothing trap. If you miss a day, don't throw away the habit. This is a long game. What matters is your average over weeks and months, not perfection every day. The second is the temptation to pile on too much too soon. Remember, your body responds best to gradual, sustainable change. Let it adapt to each swap before adding the next. The third is forgetting the bigger picture. Fruits can do a lot, but they work in concert with movement, sleep, stress management, and overall nutrition. If you're still loading up on processed foods, skipping walks, or burning the candle at both ends, you're sending mixed messages to your body. So, alongside your fruit swaps, keep your other habits supportive. Move daily, even if it's just 20 minutes of walking. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. And take moments to decompress, whether that's reading, meditating, or simply sitting quietly with your morning coffee before the day begins. Here's the truth I want you to carry from this. The fruits you choose are not just calories or flavors. They are signals. Every bite tells your body something. To inflame or to heal, to constrict or to relax, to store fat or to build vitality. When you choose foods that support circulation, protect testosterone, and stabilize hormones, you're telling your body, I'm still in the game. And your body listens. I've seen men who thought intimacy was behind them discover that it was only dormant, waiting for the right spark. I've seen couples reconnect in ways they hadn't for years, not because of a magic pill, but because energy and confidence returned naturally. That's why I believe so strongly in this approach. It's not just about avoiding grapes, canned fruit, bananas, and dried fruit, or adding pomegranate, kiwi, watermelon, and blueberries. It's about deciding every day that you're going to support your body instead of silently sabotaging it. Every choice you make sends a signal, and each morning is a fresh chance to send the right one. So tomorrow morning, when you open your fridge, you'll see a choice waiting for you. You can reach for the same thing you've always eaten, or you can choose something that helps your blood flow freer, your hormones work better, and your confidence grows stronger. One bite, one day, one decision at a time. That's how you change not just your health, but the way you experience this chapter of your life. Because it's not over. In so many ways, it could just be beginning. Your body is ready to respond, ready to be strong, confident, and alive. Give it the right support, and it will rise to meet you. And when it does, you'll realize the strength you thought was gone never really left. It was simply waiting for you to wake it up. And maybe today is the day you begin. If today's message spoke to you, I'd love to hear your story. It might be exactly what another man needs to hear. And if you want more honest, practical talks like this, stay with me by subscribing. Share this with a friend or brother who could use a little hope. It might just spark his own turning point.